If you like to make your NFL games a little bit more interesting, you've come to the right place. It's the Even Money Podcast with Ross Tucker and Steve Fezzik.
Yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas. It is the Even Money Betting Podcast. And I am very, very happy because not only were Steve and I up double-digit units for the week, we are now both up double-digit units for the year. It feels good. I'm not going to lie. It's a battle. You guys know that. But to be up double-digit units, long way to go. But it's nice to be living in the black here on the Even Money Betting Podcast. We do the same thing every week on Tuesdays. Steve and I will recap how we did week 11 in the NFL. Week 11? Yeah, week 11. Week 10 in the NFL. And then we will dive into week 11 in the NFL with all of our bets against the spread, the totals, and of course, our beloved teaser legs, which all came through in week 10, which we desperately needed. Every single teaser leg hit. That is why we do them. We will talk about that. And then don't forget on Thursdays, we have Dr. David Chow come on our second episode. I've noticed not as many of you listen or watch Thursday's episode. That is a mistake because last week we added multiple teaser legs as a result of significant line movement. We'll get into that momentarily. But we start Thursday's show with the line movement, then we get the injury information, then Steve gives all of you props and parlays, if those of you that are interested. So please, 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 whether you listen to the show or you watch us, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL, make sure you go ahead and turn the notifications on so you don't miss any of the bets that we make on this show. And quite frankly, so you get a chance to make them before the lines move like they so often do. As a reminder, you can always see all of the bets that we place in black and white. It's incredible. The game details, where the game is, the line, the total, how we did for the week best bets, the year to date, the teasers. It's all on the beautiful spreadsheet from our Australian sensation, Sean Grady, a.k.a. Grades. Patreon.com/RT Media. Become a Tuckheads member. That's how you get it. Steve, the week started with Raiders and the Broncos. We had nothing on that game. Falcons, Colts. The Falcons were getting 6 points. It says 2 units for you here, Steve, on the Falcons, but I think he's showing a loss here. That would have been a push, right? 31-25?
Push or a win. I mean, I don't know if it was 6 or 6.5. It certainly wasn't less than that at early in the week. I thought it was 6.5, but just from memory.
Yeah, so what we have down here is 6.
All right.
And, I wonder if that line moved. But, Grades, we got to take another look at that because it's at worst, it's a push for Steve. So that would be even 2 more units that you got, Steve. Maybe 4 if you actually won it. Because he has you down for a loss there. So, Grades, check on that. Bills, Dolphins, we had nothing on that one. That was a stunner. That's a crazy one, Steve, because if that line was 8.5, I 1,000% would have taken the Bills as a teaser leg down to -2.5, and we would have lost.
And the line actually came all the way down to 8 on game day, but not until Sunday. Yes.
For the Ravens and the Vikings, we had nothing. You leaned Ravens. That came through for you. I think, you know what? We got to really check these. I think these are now the closing lines that he's showing here, and maybe not where we got them, because I thought that Baltimore Minnesota game was +3, not 3.5, but I might be wrong. Am I wrong, Steve?
I think it was 3.5.
Okay, all right, so maybe I am wrong. All right, Patriots, Bucks. Now we start some of the teaser legs. We had the Patriots from +2.5 up to +8.5. They win the game outright. And yes, we both had that one.
And
Then
hey,
we had
Vrabel is playing backgammon while everyone else is playing checkers out there at the end of the first half, running a play, running 40 seconds off. Really good move. Could have backfired, but it was the right play.
Okay, I want you to expand upon that. That, I think it's fascinating. I'm not 100% convinced it's the right decision. And I think you can argue either way. But I do think more teams need to think of it that way.
Yeah, so warning the math. First and goal from the one, you have an 85% chance to score a touchdown, approximately, something like that. If you take a knee, purposely don't score, it drops to 75%. So what's this? You lose 10% of your expectation of getting a touchdown. That's going to cost you 10% of 7 points. That's going to cost you 0.07 points, less than 0.1 points. But you know what? On the backside, taking away 40 seconds plus from Tampa, if you give Tampa a full 1 minute and 40 seconds, they got a good chance to get a 3. They could even get a 7. So for their EPA drops more than your EPA drops by losing a down.
Wow, that is fantastic. That is very, very interesting on the math there. I was talking with some of the people at the game last night at Lambeau about it. As they say, the problem sometimes, Steve, is if they hadn't scored the touchdown there, he would have been mercilessly criticized, right? So some of these guys are afraid to go against what the math might say because of the fallout. We get to Saints-Panthers. We both leaned Panthers, laying the 5.5. They lost by 10. They lost outright. Wow. I am glad we did not do that one. Now's where it gets interesting, Steve. Jags-Texans, okay? We ended up playing both sides, or at least I did. Let me look. Yeah, you did too. We ended up playing both sides of this teaser as a best bet. What do we mean by that? Well, we initially had played the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were getting 1.5. We took them up to 7.5. But by the time we did Thursday's show, and it was announced C.J. Stroud was not going to play, the Texans were then the underdogs by 1.5. We took both, Steve, as legs. Obviously, they can't be in the same leg, but we took both, and it was very, very profitable for us. That's one of the first times I can remember that happening, and it actually happened twice this week.
We actually have done this many times, and we just can't do it. We couldn't do it. And
we didn't have a second show.
Exactly. So we couldn't do it, but we talked about all the time I do this, and like people are like, Fezzik, old guy, shouting at the clouds. And like one of the best tips I can give, I had a boot camp seminar, and one of the tips I gave out that no one else ever talks about, when a game is pick 'em, who cares if you get +1 on either side? I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter that much. But the opportunity to tease, as soon as it goes up to +1.5 in either direction, or even +1, and you can use a 6.5 point teaser and get the +7.5, I say all the time, I think the game should be about a pick 'em. If an odds maker is going to give me +7.5 on a teaser, either one of these guys, I don't care. You decide as the odds maker. I will take the dog up to the 7.5.
And we needed it with that last play. Thank goodness the Texans didn't get their 2-point conversion, because there's a pick 6 on the last play of the game, but they don't kick the extra point anymore, even though there's a pick 6. That would have burned us, Steve. That would have been a bad beat. I was freaking out as I was watching Sheldon Rankins' big man rumble in for a touchdown. Wild. All right.
And it harkens back to the days when they did kick the extra point. And one time, your New England Patriots went up by, I believe, 2 points on the final play of the game. Clock had expired. Their opponents, I think it was Buffalo, left the field. And so New England just ran it in and won by 4 as a 3-point favorite.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Next up, Giants-Bears. Not going to lie, Steve, this one hurt. I had the Giants getting 3.5. And they're up 20-10. Jackson Dart fumbles and gets concussed. They end up blowing it. They lose 24-20 What's really crazy is we noted on Thursday's show that line had gone up to 4.5. So you talk about getting the best number. Hopefully a lot of you guys didn't actually make the play until after it was 4.5 and you guys won your bets. Unfortunately, I lost 2 units. What about the Browns and the Jets, Steve? That was another one where we had the Jets up to 8.5. You declined to add the Browns as another teaser leg after the line movement, after the Jets trades. You declined to do that. I did it. I already had the Browns, and then I added the Jets. They both came through for me with the Browns getting that field goal late. So that's 2 of them that I doubled up on that both came through. Cardinals, Seahawks, we had nothing. Lions, Commanders, we had nothing. By the way, you had leans to the Jets and the over, that hit. The Seahawks, that hit. Rams, Niners, man, I put 2 units on the Niners getting 3.5. If you would have told me Mac Jones would play that well and they would still lose by 16, the Rams are a machine right now. Steve, you leaned to the Rams and the over. Both those hit. You were very good on your leans this week. As a reminder to people, listen to Steve with his leans. Steelers, Chargers. We both put 2 units on the Steelers getting the 3 points against the beat-up Chargers. Our handicap was right in terms of the pass rush for the Steelers against the offensive tackles for the Chargers. Everything else was wrong. The Steelers' offense was absolutely inept. That was a best bet where we each lost 2 units. The under did hit for you on the total, under 2. And then last night, Eagles-Packers. We both liked the Eagles up to 8.5 as a teaser leg. They won the game outright. For the week, I was up 12.4 units. You were up at least 13.6. We need clarity on that Falcon situation. How about this with the teaser, Steve? We were 14-1 on our best bets. 14-0 on the teasers, 0-1 on the Steelers. So for the year, I'm up 16.2 units. You are now up at least 12.7 units. We'll get clarity on the Falcons line and push. How about our best bets? 59-30. We are at a 66% clip on our best bets right now. 68% on the teasers, 80% on totals, 50% on the betting line. This is why you need Grades spreadsheet. Patreon.com/RT Media. More great stuff right after this. Whether you guys know it or not, I guarantee some of you are wasting money right now. You know how? Old doors, old windows, and as you're heating your house, you're losing all kinds of heat. If you worked with my friends at westshorehome.com/Ross and got new doors or new windows, I think you'd be very surprised at the impact that would have on your heating bill. Plus, right now, you can buy a full bath remodel and get a shower replaced in another bathroom free. Or buy a house full of windows and get an entry door free. Flexible financing options are available. And just for being a fan of the show, you get an exclusive discount of $500 off by scheduling at westshorehome.com/Ross. westshorehome.com/Ross. See website for details. I don't understand the science. Maybe it's because they're originally from Canada, but Labatt beer tastes even better in the winter. It is so good. And with buy beer, get gear from Labatt, just go to the website, snap a photo of your receipt, upload it instantly to rack up points for exclusive merch. You can get points for every purchase at any store, bar, stadium, any size, any product. It doesn't matter. Anywhere you're buying Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Go to rewards.labattusa.com to sign up. All right, Steve, here we go. Week number 11, Thursday night. Jets are getting 11.5 points against the Patriots. Total is 43.5.
Jets totally phony win against Cleveland. Could not move the ball at all. They got the dead cat bounce from, they lost some guys. Inspired effort. New England should kill them. I'm going to play New England first half. First half, 2 units, -6.5.
Ooh, okay. Steve likes New England first half, -6.5 for 2 units. That's a pretty good bet, I would say. I'm going to go in on that with you. I'll do that. New England -6.5 first half versus the Jets. I like it. I like that a bet a lot. 2 units. That is a best bet. Sunday, it's the last international game. Commanders are getting 2.5 on the road against the Dolphins. Total is 47.5.
Yeah, let's head to Madrid. Here's a long teaser. There's no way I'm teasing Washington. I'm taking Miami. I'll let you sing the Miami Dolphins song because you did it so well earlier in the week, Ross. This is going to close 3 at least, I think. Dolphins have all the momentum. Miami -2.5, 2 units.
Ooh, Miami -2.5, 2 units as opposed to the teaser leg. I'm torn on this one. Dan Quinn taking over defensive play calling. I'm wondering if that means an inspired effort from the Commanders with a new defensive play caller. So I was thinking about teasing the Commanders. I'm just going to go no play on this. I think with Quinn calling the defense, the Commanders are going to play better on that side of the ball. That worries me a little bit. So I can make an argument either way. This will just be a no play for me. I guess I would lean to Miami laying the 2.5, but I'm a little bit worried about an inspired effort from the Commanders. What about the Bengals, Steve? They're getting 5.5 points in Pittsburgh. Totals 49.5. Joe Burrow's practice window is open, but he will not play this week.
You know, I'm going to pass this game. I've got very little. I made it 5.5. I want to add a parlay because I never do this, and it's fun. And this is available at DraftKings. Going back to the last game, I'm going to play Miami to score first also and to win the game. It's +165. Miami's been very good to start games. So I'm going to add 1 unit on a parlay on the previous game. Nothing on the Steeler game.
Wow, Steve out of nowhere with a 1 unit parlay. I like it, Steve. Usually we do that on Thursday's show. I have nothing on Bengals, Steelers, not even a lean. I guess I was thinking about leaning to the over after that shootout earlier on Thursday night, but I'm not going to. What about the Bucks, Steve? Bucks and Bills, big game, 2 teams coming off losses. The Bucks are getting 5.5 points up in Buffalo against the Bills. Totals 49.5.
Yeah, Tampa struggling with the injuries to their wide receivers. The Bills, that was a very, very disappointing effort. Sky high total, and I think the total's too high. I'm going to go under the 49.5, 2 units.
Steve's going under 49.5, 2 units. Bills, Bucks. Ooh, that's tempting. I haven't seen the weather. I'm gonna stay away. We've been pretty good on our totals though. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm gonna regret it when your 2 units come through. I will just lean to the under. What about the Texans and the Titans? Texans are laying 7.5 points. Total's a low 39.5. We do not know as of yet who the starting quarterback will be for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, and whether we get an injured quarterback or a backup quarterback, gosh, I hate making this bet, but I got to play the +7.5. I can get in the hook. 2 stars on the Titans.
Wow. Steve has taken the Titans +7.5 for 2 units. You know, that was a hard-fought game for the Texans. Titans coming off a bye. You might be right. I was thinking about the Texans as a teaser leg, but I'm a little bit nervous about that because this could be the game that the Titans get win number 2, especially if it's Davis Mills again. I'll just lean Tennessee getting the 7.5. What about the Bears at the Vikings? The Bears are getting 3 points, Steve. Total's 48.5.
Gosh, you know what? I really wanted to play the Vikings -2.5, and I wanted to play over 47. They both got taken out yesterday. Let's show a little discipline here. I will pass at the current numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears have been pulling a bunch of rabbits out of their hat. I can't predict that to happen again. I think the Vikings probably win this game. I just don't know by how much. I can't even say lean to the Vikings at 3. If it was 2.5, I'd probably lean Vikings. What about the Chargers? Speaking of that line, the Chargers are laying 3 points on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Steve.
Boy, it feels like an under game to me. I'm going to just lean, though, because it's a pretty low total. Lean to the under 44.
Well, it's the 43.5 right now.
Just a lean.
Okay, just a lean to Steve for the under. I would lean Jacksonville in that one, getting the 3 points, but it's not a strong lean. Carolina, coming off that debacle against the Saints, on the road in Atlanta. Falcons are laying 3.5 points. Totals 42.5.
Now, this one certainly feels like an under to me. No offense at all for Carolina last week. I don't see them having success against Atlanta, but I think Carolina does have a decent defense, and I don't trust Penix. I think we're going to see Bijan get 25 carries plus in this game. We'll talk about that on Thursday. I'm going to go under 42.5, 2 units.
Under 42.5, 2 units for Steve. I am with you on that. That is a best bet. I like that bet quite a bit. I don't think either team scores very many points at all. The Falcons' defense is good. Carolina's defense is pretty good. Both young quarterbacks struggling. I'm also going to take Carolina plus the 3.5 to bounce back from that really poor loss to the New Orleans Saints. I'll take Carolina plus 3.5. I don't love it, but I'll do 2 units on it. I think if they lose, it's by a field goal. Packers are laying 7.5 on the road on a short week against the Giants, who just fired their head coach. Totals 44.5.
All right, so I am going to play some teasers because there's not going to be that many legs. All my teasers are going to be 2 units this week. So I'm going to tease Green Bay, which should be able to win the game, with Dart likely not playing. And I really like the under 44.5, 2 units on the under.
2 units under 44.5 for Steve. That I agree with wholeheartedly because I don't think Jackson Dart's going to play. Russell Wilson does not look good. Green Bay, New York, under 44.5, 2 units. It's a best bet for Steve and I. I am also taking the Packers as a teaser leg down to -1.5. I don't know how many units yet. We'll see how many legs I have. Seahawks at the Rams. Seahawks are getting 2.5, Steve. Totals 48.5.
The Rams, Stafford, I think, should be the MVP. He is awesome in terms of, he has just such great touch. So many of his balls, you watch it and it's just, he just lays it out for his receiver perfectly without overthrowing it. But you know what? Seattle's awesome as well. And Seattle's defense has been awesome. I think Seattle's better because their defense is better. I will tease Seattle as my second teaser leg.
For all the reasons Steve just laid out, the Seahawks are an easy teaser leg for me, up to 8.5. They are very good. Their defense is very good. You're going to give me 8.5? I will take it. What about, that's a best bet, teaser leg. That's 2 of them now. Niners, Cardinals. Niners are laying 2.5, Steve. Totals 48.5.
Yeah, so the Niners defense is not good enough to stop anybody, especially if they're laying 8.5, which they are in the teaser. I will tease Arizona to bounce back, and would not surprise me, even if I get down double digits, that I get back in the game against a bad Niners defense, what's left of it. Tease Arizona.
Sharing a brain, Steve. I'm with you on the Arizona Cardinals. Third teaser leg for both of us, up to 8.5 against the 49ers. What about the Ravens at the Browns? Ravens laying 8.5, totals 41.5.
So a gift. We are being given a gift in this game, Ross, and the gift is the total. There was no offense whatsoever, Jets, Browns, but there was 47 points, all right? Now, this has happened before. Cleveland's defense, for whatever reason, gives up a whole bunch of points. They've averaged giving up 30-plus points on the road the last 3 years. A big part of it is Cleveland keeps turning the ball over and short fields for their opponents on the road, better at home. I don't see how they get to 42 points in this game. Cleveland isn't going to score. And Baltimore, long history, Cleveland's D can hold Lamar in check, under 41.5, 2 units.
Totally agree. I am on the under 41.5, 2 units, best bet. I also like the Ravens as a teaser leg down to minus 2.5. They're not losing that football game. That would really surprise me. So that's my 4th teaser leg. Chiefs, Broncos. Broncos are getting 3.5 at home, Steve. Total's 43.5.
You know, I like a lot of unders this week, which scares me because normally scoring picks up. But I'll just lean in this game to the under.
Taking the Broncos, getting the 3.5 points at home for 1 unit. I think it's a close game. Give me Denver plus the 3.5. The Lions are getting 1.5 in Philadelphia, Steve. Total's 48.5.
I don't understand the side. I don't understand the total. I will take the Eagles minus 1.5. They're the better team. And they're only laying 1.5 the home field. I'll go 3 units on the Eagles. I'll go 2 units on the under. Lions not nearly as good on the road in the elements. So I think the Eagles defense will keep the Lions in check, and I'll bet accordingly.
I like the Lions as a teaser leg up to plus 7.5. That is my 5th teaser leg. They will be 1 unit this week with 5 of them. Monday night, Cowboys are laying 3.5 against the Raiders.
You know, I guess I'm supposed to bet on the Raiders. I just can't do it. You know, the Raiders' offense is challenged, but everyone scores against the Cowboys. Just a strong lean to the over.
1 unit for the Raiders getting the 3.5. I love 3.5. My teaser legs, again, are just 1 unit each this week for those 5 teaser legs. Other than that, make sure you check out Thursday's show. Good luck, everybody. Hope you guys win some money.
Thanks for tuning in to Even Money. Make sure to also check out the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.